So it's okay if I start going over phone 2?
The same question.
Okay, so that's fine.
I think it's 10.5, but I might be wrong. But I think 8.5.
So I'll start going over phone 12, phone 2.
Could you zoom in so we can see your work?
I will show you here. QuickTime. Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so g of -2, right? G of -2. I think the boundaries are x, so g of -2. Then you're gonna write out from 0 to -2 of ft dt. And since the boundary is off, so I'm gonna switch from low bound to high bound. And all I gotta see is are the area in the curve or not. So it's what? 3. So it's -3. Oh, negative. Oh, sorry. It's -3. So it's equal to 3 because this is a below x-axis, and so that's -3, and there's a negative sign in front, so that's changed to +3. Does that make sense? Yes.
Oh, yours.
You guys, it's okay. Nicholas. Now, if I do have a g of 2, then you don't have to change your boundary anymore, so it's going to be 0 to 2 of ft dt. That's equal to what? Well, 2 is going to be just 2. This is just this part, which is 6, right? What about g of 8? Well, g of 8 is equal to this part and this part is offset each other, right? One is negative, one is positive. So that makes g of 8 is also equal to -6. 0, 8 of ft dt is equal to 6 because this part here, let's just say this part is blue, and this part is red. And that's just gonna offset each other exactly, cut off right here, right?
So how come they're both positive?
Because one is, oh, this -6. It's -6, good. Now if I go backwards, this part here, we already know from before, this one is negative, this is 3. Even though it's below x-axis, but the bound is switched, so this one's 3. Then, and this will be -3, and that's going to give you a 0. So -4 and 0 is the solutions. And here is going to be 3, -6, -6.
So it's the part where they equal 0.
Yeah, the part output becomes 0.
So wherever parts they cancel out, that's the 0 of it.
Not whatever part, it's just, you see if we go backward, there's a 0. And also at 0, 0 to the 0 is also 0. Because there's no area under the curve. Now, usually I would do this. You guys need to learn to see this. 0 to x, ft, dt. Make sure you pay attention here. If you integrate this, it's going to give you f of x minus f of 0 and g of x. Why? Because that's fundamental theorem calculus 1. If I ever ask you g prime of x, that means I take a derivative. Then that means f of x times 1 minus f of 0 times 0. So that's equal to f of x. So you're going to see this a lot. G prime of x equal to f of x. So then g of 0 is going to be, this is f of 0. F of 0 is going to be -3. Phi is going to be what?
3.
No. Phi is going to be 0.
Oh.
Because right here, a is going to be what?
3.
Good. And if I want a g double prime of 3, well, 3 is right here. That just asks g double prime of 3 is equal to f prime of 3. So which is equal to slope at 3, which is equal to 1. And g double prime of 6, it seems like it's also 1. So therefore I'm done. Number 2. Got it? Okay, that makes sense. Okay, number 6. If you have negative 2 here, and they say find 0 of h, but you start calculate here, it start at negative 2. And that's color coded. If I'm moving forward, my area is going to start become positive. So positive is going to be blue.
Thank you, Matthew. That's all with that.
Positive how much? It's going to be positive around 6 plus 4.5, 10.5. Now you can see the area, they're going to kind of offset each other. Tell me when to stop. Yeah, so at this point, I'm off inside each other. So therefore, at 8, at this point here, which is 8, then it's going to be 0. So 8 is equal to 0, and also negative 2 is equal to 0, because there's no error in the case.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are confusing here. Now I'm gonna go h of 0. What's h of 0? Can you tell me what's h of 0 now? Oh, actually, tell me when's h decreasing.
The 3 to 9.
Yeah, that's good, because h of x is less than 0. It means f h prime of x is less than 0. That means f of x is less than 0. Transitive property. Okay, so that means it's from 3 to 9. That's it.
On the test, will it matter if we do it in parentheses or brackets?
Okay, let's talk about are they parenthesis and bracket. This one should be bracket here.
3 is the parenthesis because it's at 0, which is not positive or negative, right?
Yeah. And 9, if this fell in that, it would be. Okay, h of 0. H of 0 just gonna be from negative 2 to 0 of ft, which is negative of 0 to negative 2. Wait, that's the correct boundary. Sorry, my bad. Negative 2 to 0 is fine. So it's 6. H prime of 0, which is f of 0, which is going to be 3. Is that okay? Double prime does not exist because of the sharp turn. The slope is changing. It's a sharp turn. Because you have changing slope at 0, all the way all of a sudden you change into -1. So h is concave, that means h double prime of x is less than 0. That means f prime of x is less than 0. That means slope of f is negative. Sam, are you following me? So which region is concave down?
Whatever the end of the line is.
Where is that?
6.
Okay. Does that make sense?
For E, wouldn't the slope be 0?
No, it's not, because it's changing from the left side is 0, right side is positive. So it's drastic change of slope. So it does not exist.
It's not smooth, that's all. Oh, okay. Can you explain
Which part?
the
Number 1?
Yeah.
I explained that yesterday. Because f prime of x changing from positive to negative, that it's going to be the justification of it. That's going to be a maximum. Because the way you calculate this area is positive. But at that at 4 is when it changes directions. So it becomes negative as the time goes on.
Okay, so what if there's like multiple methods, like sine crosses?
You can have multiple maximums, yeah, just like normal graph. You can have multiple minimum as well.
And how do you find minimum?
Minimum is this one. It's hard. Yesterday we will explain that. You should ask question yesterday. So but I'll answer again. So this one here is roughly, if I did my calculation right, I think that's 12. And here is the total area is about negative something, negative 26.5 or something. So end up to be outside each other. It will be negative 14.5. And that's why it's minimum. So minimum can occur at end point because the things just keep on going down, right? Sam, if you don't understand, you gotta pay attention because I'm going over it to help you. Okay. How about G of 4? If you think you got it, what is G of 4?
Wait,
Mm-hmm.
5.
Yeah, it's just 5. So this is 5. Right? What is G prime of 4? 3 is correct because the value is output is 3. Because G prime of x is equal to f of x. Because if you were to take a derivative right here, let's just say if I take a derivative of this, if I take a derivative of this, then the phi is going to go away. So if integrate this, it's going to become big F of x minus big F of 4. And that's g of x. But if I take a g prime of x, that becomes f prime of x. No, f of x times 1 minus f of 0 times 0. So g prime of x equal to f of x. So therefore, g prime of 4 is equal to 3. And g double prime of 4, that means looking at the slope because g double prime of x is equal to f prime of x. Now f prime is look at the slope of that. So that's equal to 0 because that's a horizontal tangent. Questions? Where g is decreasing? Well, if this is true, then just f of x is negative. So if f of x is less than 0, then the is decreasing. So it'll be negative 2 to 0. Union from, I believe, 8 to 10. Concave down. What does concave down mean? Slope down. Okay, so from where to where?
4 to 10.
4 to 10. Good. Then you're going to justify your answer because g double prime of x is equal to f prime of x. And f prime of x is less than 0, which is at this region. Point inflection where? 4. And you're going to say f prime of x changing from g double prime of x or f prime of g, the slope of f prime of x is changing from positive to negative. The slope of f prime of x change from positive to negative. Relative maximum, it has to be positive to negative. So it's going to be this point right here. So what they did is they take account into this area here. There's a little bit overlap and underlap, and this is a little bit overlap. They kind of cancel out each other. So I think they got the answer. I think they say is maybe really close to something like 6 or something like that. So this is a 1. This is a 1. This is a 2, 3, 4. So probably 4 plus 5 or whatever. Probably gonna be 4 plus 5. 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. That's the value. This is x equal to 8. Let me see the solution though. I don't know which point they decide to use. but regardless, it should be positive. They say it was 11, so they assume that this is 6. They assume this area is gonna cover this area, so it's really is a person's word actually. So between 9 to 11, I would say it's all gonna be vaguely correct. On the test, I won't give you something like this. It's not defined. This is the only case it's not really defined, so you estimate it.
When you find the value of the relative maximum, you're calculating the volume that it starts with.
Ooh. Hold on, finding what?
The y value of the maximum point.
It's the output. It's all the areas combined.
That's on. Because it's a sharp.
Question 5. What is G of 4? Sam, do you know what G of 4? It's 3 to 4. So 3 to 4 is right here. It's 5, yep. And G prime of 4. Well, G prime of 4 is 4, good. And G double prime of 4. It's supposed to be -2 because it go down 2 and right 1. So remember the slope. If you stand a man right here, and if it's going downhill, that's gonna be negative. If it's uphill, it's always look to the right. You're right-handed, so just look at the right hand from left to right. If it goes up, then it's positive. If it goes down, it's negative. So don't ever mess up the algebra 1 part, because that if you ever go up and look up, you go to the right, it's going up, it's positive. If it's going down, it's negative. Average rate of change is gonna be of G, so it'll be G of 4 minus G of 0 over 4 minus 0. And G of 4 we already got, which is 5. And G of 0 is what? What is G of 0? So we had to go back to find out what G of 0. It's 3 to 0 f of t dt. That's equal to negative 0 to 3 of f t dt. And that's equal to what? It's 3 times 6, 18 is 9. So this is minus 9, so minus -9 over 4. So that's how you get 14 over 4. You got 5, 4, -2. Now, when they equal to, let's just say 3.5, 3.5 is right here. And that intersect before 4, because they said between 0 to 4, right? Oh no, 3.5 is right here, I can count. 3.5 is right here. The next happen is after 4, so there's only once. One time. X coordinate of each inflection point just gonna be x equal to 3, x equal to 8. Am I doing okay? Okay.
Can you explain? Yeah, can you explain
C says 3.5. This is 3.5. And reach 3.5 is right here. They only reach once because this one's past 4. And then you guys should have finished 9 and 10 and 7 by yourself. I will send you the answer, but you gotta do it first. Don't look at the answer. Most of the people, especially people like, I don't know, Nicholas, Mason, you guys gonna be like, look at it, oh yeah, I got it. But you actually didn't get it because you didn't try it yet. If you don't have the setback, you'll never become a C. So you have to experience setback first. That means you have to do something first in order to have setback.
7, 9, and 10?
7, 9, 7, 9 and 10 is the closest to the to the text question. And 6 is harder than the text question, so you can do that last. So 7, 8, 9, 10, they're all good questions. Please try to answer it before you leave. Yeah, you can stay after school to work through it too. Yes.
Could you show me the answer for 6A? Because I did that and I'm not sure if I got the same answer.
6A?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
It's kind of hard because there was a chain rule involved here. I say 6, you should work 6 last because it has chain law involved. It's a little bit harder.
I already finished the other one. I'm just saying, like, I got 10.5 for H of 4.
That's what I got. Do you know what I'm getting to?
And Matthew got it too.
Because they say H of 4, you gotta be careful. Plug in 4 for X.
Yeah.
The boundary, the upper bound is gonna be 6.
Yeah, so from 0 to 6.
So 0 to 6 is what did I say the answer was? 8.5. Okay, so let's see, is 1 plus 4 is 502 times. What'd you say?
The second part here has 2 times 4. It's supposed to be 4 and not 2. Like say we want to define the area from here to here. Okay. Okay, the 1/2 area, right? We have to do all the area 1. It is 1/2. Then 1/2 times 2. And there's 1/2 versus. Yeah.
What's the lower bound?
Yes.
Yeah.
But usually comes at 620.
Right here, 1/2 times 2 times 4 equals 4, right?
Where?
Right, right below your mouse. There it is.
No, let's do
And then it does equal.
Because of that.
Oh, it's equal to 4.
You get 10.5.
Yeah. You're right.
I didn't get all of it right though. I said H prime was 0 when it is back on this one. I gotta watch that because I did that twice on the home. So maybe that's what I might have misremembered, right? The one that I was talking about like the issue one. That's probably what he was talking about. He wasn't talking about it, but I forgot to. So it's funny.
You mean like every day? Yeah.
So it doesn't have a flush point, it just doesn't have slope.
That's dumb.
You know how first or second?
They should change.
I was about to say, that's kind of concerning factor. Okay, I did it last year. But I don't know where. I even tested this girl.
Gotta go.
Great.